This meeting is being recorded.
Ma'am, can you hear my voice?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, ma'am. A grateful evening to all. Prayer is the positive force. Prayer should not be regarded as duty, which must be performed, but rather as privilege to be enjoyed. Now I would like to call upon Krantika of grade 6 for the invocation.
Saraswati Mate Karuni Sutaye Karakalamukive Baragalani.
I think she has completed the training.
There must be some network issue, ma'am.
Yes,
So,
yes, ma'am.
yes.
Thank you, Krantika. A warm welcome is a good start. A genuine welcome can take a bad day into good one. I would like to call upon Hanshita of grade 8 to formally welcome the gathering.
A gracious evening to one and all present here. It's an excellent opportunity to extend a genial welcome to all of you to this momentous program. I am profusely ecstatic to take this opportunity to welcome our resource persons, Srimati N. Lakshmi and Srimati Nirmala Suresh. Srimati Lakshmi has been teaching for 23 years. She has been CBSE resource person for class 10 competency-based learning. She has produced many rank holders. She has been teaching NEET chemistry. She has conducted workshops of teachers of class 10 and 12 chemistry. Welcome, ma'am. Srimati Nirmala Suresh has been teaching for 30 years. She is the head examiner in AISSE science for the past 10 years. She has produced many rank holders. She has the credit of producing number of MBBS candidates. She is the mentor in biology for budding professionals. Welcome, ma'am. We are incredibly pleased to welcome you both. It's my pleasure and duty to bid a convenient welcome to our chairman, Sri P. Satyanarayanan, PON Vidya Mandir, and our beloved secretary, Srimati S. Nityanandi. Welcome, sir, and welcome, ma'am. We are deeply honored to welcome our beloved principal, Sri P. Vinodan. Welcome, sir. It's a true pleasure for me to welcome the teachers and friends. We warmly welcome you all to this program. Without any further ado, I would like to start this program by welcoming everybody once again. Welcome all.
Thank you, Hanshita. Now I request our resource person to take this platform to give their valuable inputs.
Namaste all. Very good evening. The secretary ma'am, principal sir, parents, and my dear children. It's a very pleasant evening to meet you all online. PON Vidya Mandir Karur, we were seeing some videos before the session actually started. We came to know about the various activities and various programs conducted by the school. I really am very happy that you are all a part of the wonderful school. And today we are just going to get an insight of what are the avenues, what is the scope of studying science group. taking class 11 mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology combination. What are the various scopes of learning and what are the various courses available after completing class 11 science. So I really want to congratulate you in advance for choosing or going to choose science group, because it provides a number of opportunities to make you progress in your life professionally, domestically. It gives you a better, actually speaking, the science children who study science are better in logical thinking and reasoning. So you are going to choose a very good platform to shape your career, children and parents also. So without much delay, I would like to request our resource person, Mrs. Lakshmi, to speak to you about these scopes in physical sciences. Later on, I will go ahead with biological sciences. Lakshmi ma'am, please take over.
Namaste to everyone. Ma'am, may I get the host right so that I can start presenting, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, I will provide.
Yes. A very good evening to Secretary ma'am, Principal sir, and to beloved children and the teachers here. It gives us immense pleasure to address you all. And you are at the footsteps of choosing the stream of your choice. And we are here to tell you what are the pros and only pros of science. So no cons, because as I told, everything which starts with a positive note ends well. So let us all start with a positive note so that our choice becomes our destination and our successful future also. So I hope I've, yes, sir. Is my screen visible to you all?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, just a minute. Give me a minute. Yeah, so again, once again, welcome to all the students of PON VIDYA MANDIR who are at the threshold of choosing the career. And as you can see here, if I can minimize this, yeah, as you can see, science provides you n number of opportunities. And the most fascinating thing about science is in class 6, if you had seen your science teachers teaching you, they would have taken help of a number of experiments. Okay, and these are always fascinating to us. A colorful experiment, a color change, maybe a budding shoot, or maybe magnetic characters of some materials. These all would have definitely attracted you. It would have looked as though there was a magic created in front of your eyes. So are you interested in taking up this magical science is our question here. And we are here to present a few interesting facts, and probably that will lead you into taking up science and pursuing that as your career. So what seemed to be magical? What seemed to be magical in class 6, 7th, 8th, or even 3rd, 4th, 5th, where germination would have been shown? Probably air would have been filled inside the balloon would have got expanded and then cooled to contract, and all those things would have fascinated. So these are all theoretically, some things we perceive in our mind. Okay, for example, some 200 to why 200 to 300 years back. If I go back to some 20 years, when I was, let us say, 20 years back, just when we had finished our probably education and we had stepped into the teaching, 20 to 30, 35 years back, there was no cellular connection. There was no mode of communicating. You had to talk by looking at their faces, or at the most there was a provision of posting a letter available. Then came the era of mobile phones. So how close everything has brought us. There are instances where the information immediately is being spread, right? And the broadcast is immediately possible. A message in a given fraction of a second is able to reach millions of people. So these kind of theoretically looking impossible facts could be achieved only with the help of science. Only with the help of science. If you close your eyes and dream of something, and if you keep researching on that idea, I'm sure it will come into play one day. Right? Nobody would have dreamt of a rocket going up straight and coming down in the same direction and landing without affecting the rocket structure. Right, children? Is it possible? There are innovations now where the rocket is sent up and the rocket is coming back and is landing without destroying its original structure. Possible? All this, everything is theoretically impossible until it is done. That means you close your eyes, think of something that, okay, this probably will make my life, our life easier. If you are going to pursue it sincerely, it is definitely going to come in reality. Yes, children, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So definitely, in the beginning of probably 20, 30 years of the evolution of mobile phones, you would have seen mobile phones would have been so huge. TV, if I go back and think of the TV which I had in my home some 30 years back, it used to be big fat TV. And now there are the slimmest possible television sets, right? There are TVs which probably it has not come to our usage, but there are TVs which we can fold out, fold like a piece of cloth. You would have seen brilliant videos where TVs can be just folded like a piece of maybe carpet and put in store. So probably somebody imagined about it and probably people worked for it and people have achieved all this. So whatever is theoretically impossible is practically possible. And this statement, the impossibility is only until it is done. So we are here to step in. So I have some questions. Right. Have you observed your pressure cooker at home? There is no home without a pressure cooker. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
On what principle does it work? I have given an explanation, a small explanation. Can you tell me from your understanding as to how a pressure cooker works? Can somebody just start a talk so that it becomes a two-way process? It's not just that we are going to deliver something to you. After all, why are we here? We are here to ensure you that you are going to take interest in science, right? Just to make more interested in science. Tell me, have you seen the pressure cooker? How does it work? I have given a brief.
Ma'am, I think because of air pressure.
Because of air pressure. Okay. Yeah, so there is something there. A pressure cooker is like any other pot, but it has got more elaborated lid that seals the pot completely. And when you heat the water inside, so it is a simple innovation, children. See, earlier, if I had no problem, see, another thing which is very interesting is the whole of innovation in the field of science probably has occurred in last 300 years and not before that. Whereas human race, according to many civilizations, has been existing on this earth for 2000 years, 3000 years. But the innovation has been tremendous in last 200 to 300 years. So I'm sure my grandma wouldn't have used pressure cooker, or probably she had used a pressure cooker only towards end of her, probably in her late 70s. So pressure cooker is one simple thing without which we cannot run our household. But there is a beautiful, science hidden inside. What does a pressure cooker do? It captures the pressure. It captures the steam inside, creates an artificial atmosphere, and raises the boiling point of the water. And when the boiling point of the water is risen, the cooking, the softening of the food becomes faster. Yes. So something very trivial in our homes has got a beautiful science behind it. Can you think of a pressure cooker which has got a very thin wall, children? All your pressure cookers, whether it is the old one or the new one, they will be well built, muscular body. Am I right? Very thick walled, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So can you think of a pressure cooker which is having a thin body, which is not so heavy to lift? After
No,
all,
ma'am.
what is the purpose of using a pressure cooker? To capture the steam, and steam is so energetic. Steam has got tremendous amount of energy. So pressure cooker's thick wall needs to probably capture. But now when I close my eyes and I think that pressure cooker is very heavy to handle and I need something very light, where will it come from? Where will it come from? I started with a caption. What was that caption? I said everything is theoretically impossible until it is done. So I'm thinking of something that I need a pressure cooker which is as light as feather, as light as a steel vessel. I don't want it too heavy. Is it not a theoretical imagination? Yes? Yes. So what should I do? Or what kind of work will lead me into discovering maybe no, fabricating a pressure cooker with thin walls? More and more scientific research. So a problem which you face in your life, okay, be it the problem of pressure cooker, or probably you want to travel from Karur to maybe Chennai in say 30 minutes. How is it possible? Is it possible in 30 minutes? Is it possible from Karur to Chennai in 30 minutes?
No, ma'am.
No, but
Yes,
now
no.
there is the idea of that supersonic pods. Have you heard of it? Supersonic pods. There is a
No, ma'am.
technology which can transport
ma'am.
you at the speed of sound. It is possible. So you wait and watch. The people who have the taste of scientific innovation are going to come out with that type of solution, where probably to travel from the topmost tip of India to the southernmost foot of India, it is going to take maximum of 1 hour. It is going to happen. You wait and watch. Now, how is all this possible? All this is possible through scientific innovation. You think of a problem, pursue, right, the research towards it, pursue, acquire the knowledge required to pursue the scientific research. And one day, what you dream of is definitely going to come alive. Yes, I have one more question. The airbags. I have given a small explanation about the airbags. Yes, airbags. Where are they being used?
In cars, ma'am.
Cars.
And
Ma'am, in cars.
In cars, yes. A small explanation is given there. Yes, what happens when probably, unfortunately, if your car is going to crash at some place, right? The impact blows out the airbag. Some cars have the airbags, some cars don't have. It's always better to buy a car which has got airbags. So these airbags get suddenly inflated, right? I've given a time there. In what time? It is going to inflate in matter of 0.03 seconds. So it's going to inflate just like that. What does it do? It creates an air cushion around us and it protects us from the injury. Yes. How is all that possible? 10 years or 20 years back, we didn't have such cars, or that technology was available around the world, but was introduced into India very late. So how is that possible? So somebody would have definitely thought about protecting the passenger inside the car or the driver inside the car. So somebody would have definitely thought about it. It was a problem and it was scientifically approached. It was scientifically approached, right? So the problems in front of you, whatever problems you see in front of you, right? Definitely at home, probably your grandma is unable to walk fast. Yes. Yes, probably you have the issue of transporting water from one area to the other in the summer region, summer season, right? Possible. All these problems you would have definitely seen. Yes, somebody is finding it difficult to sit, the knees pain. Yes, so the sitting and the standing action of generally the old people is very difficult. So think of a problem and approach the problem in a scientific manner. But is it possible for us to approach every problem individually? If I identify a particular problem around me and I start thinking about it individually, is it possible for me to achieve the solution for that individually? As a single person, can I achieve it?
No, ma'am.
Without any skills, can I achieve the solution for that? Not
No,
possible.
ma'am.
So what should you do? You should equip yourself with proper knowledge required to pursue the solution for that problem, right? So how do the airbags work really? Right, you will remember the small chemistry behind it. NaN3, if you can see the second line there, NaN3, it's also called as sodium azide. Okay, sodium azide is a very unstable compound. So probably sodium azide got synthesized and it was found to be too unstable. It immediately broke up to give sodium and nitrogen gas. This nitrogen gas, any gas for that matter, at 0 degrees Celsius, 28 grams of it, please capture the values, right? Nitrogen gas or any gas for that matter at 0 degrees Celsius, right? At 0 degrees Celsius, 28 grams of it will occupy a volume of 22.4 liters. Have you all seen that 25 liters water can in your homes? 25
Yes,
water
ma'am.
cans, yeah. So you have that bubble top water bottles, right? That is 25 liters. So literally nitrogen gas, just 28 grams of nitrogen gas occupies around 22.4 liters. Literally it fills up the space inside that bubble top water can. So somebody would have imagined, no? Somebody would have thought, right? How to inflate the balloon, just like that. So create nitrogen. Why not create nitrogen? The moment nitrogen is created at 0 degrees Celsius, if 28 grams is going to occupy 22.4 liters, think of 35 degrees Celsius. Normally, when we drive the car, we are at a temperature range of 20 to 35 degrees Celsius. So it's going to occupy much more volume. So just by using 20 to 25 grams of nitrogen, I can inflate the balloon to a capacity of 25 liters. And that balloon is going to protect me. So probably it would have come to someone as a wild idea, right? Something which was theoretically impossible, but is possible until it is realized. How can we realize it? Think of a problem, approach it scientifically, and try to solve it. Again, to approach a problem and to find a solution, we need to have a scientific approach. I've got many such problems around us, okay? Just look at this video. There is a caption on that. There's no volume with that video. It says landing at Srinagar airport. Srinagar in the winter. See how it is. Full of snow. Probably it is the beginning of the winter because the snow cover is not that much. So what is the biggest challenge of putting the plane on the airfield? What do you think? Is it easy for somebody to walk on a surface filled with snow?
No, ma'am, it is really hard.
Very tough, right? And what will happen when, see, this is the time of landing of this aeroplane. You can see some patch of the land not having snow and the rest of the patch of land having snow. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So this is one of the problems which is, and imagine a plane ready to take off on an airstrip which is full of snow. How is it possible? There is a whole lot of friction created between the tire of the aeroplane and the snow. What will happen with the friction? What is generated because of the friction? Normally, whenever we rub our palms and we try to feel, what do we feel?
Heat, ma'am.
Heat.
Feel warm, ma'am.
We feel the warmth, right? Friction generates heat. So think of the aeroplane's wheel, which is trying to travel on the snow. Will there not be friction?
No, ma'am.
No, there are. Of course, your answer is also partly right. It's not going to have that much of friction, and that is the problem. Can you walk on a surface which is covered with oil?
No, ma'am.
Not possible. You need a friction, right, to move around, right?
The grip we need.
The grip we need. So when the aeroplane is trying to move on the runway strip, right, it needs the friction. But the presence of ice reduces the friction. There is a heat generated due to the movement of the aeroplane on the snow field, and hence with that heat, a little bit of snow melts. That creates a watery layer. And this water, this snow, everything put together creates a huge lot of problem on the airstrip. There is no friction. And if there is no friction, how is the aeroplane going to move? Okay, so this should have been a problem, right? Transportation is probably one of the most beautiful innovation of science. We are able to travel from one part of the world to the other part of the world, right? Without much problems. Think of an era when probably our ancestors had to travel from one city to the other city. They would have taken days, but today it is matter of minutes, hours, and days. That's all at the maximum. All this has been achieved with the help of innovation in transportation. People are thinking to go to moon and harvest something from there also. So probably transportation is one of the important field, right? So what may be the problem here? The snow is a problem. How to solve this problem? You know, one simple trick here. How do they clear the snow? Any idea?
Ma'am, by adding salt to the snow.
Super, very nice. I should give a very nice applause for you. So they sprinkle salt, and by sprinkling salt, what would happen? What would happen? They sprinkle salt, and knowing that much is really great. Very good. Okay, so what happens when you sprinkle salt is that the melting point of this ice becomes down. Okay, it lowers. The melting point is going to drop down. That means what? What snow would melt at 0 degrees Celsius would be ready to melt at -2, -3 degrees Celsius. You get the point? The ice melts at 0 degrees Celsius. But by sprinkling the salt on the snow, the melting point of the water is brought down. And because of which the ice around that region is ready to, first of all, it is not ready to freeze. The second issue is whatever snow is there will be readily melting at a temperature much lower than 0 degrees Celsius. And hence the snow melts off. The water can be easily cleared off from the runway and the flights can take a smooth flight. So science is involved in this, right? Okay, the next one. What is the challenge in deep sea diving? What is the challenge in deep sea diving? Oxygen, very good. Oxygen is one of the biggest challenge. How do you get oxygen? How do you get oxygen? How did people get oxygen in the COVID?
Diving cylinder, ma'am. It will be attached on back of the persons to get oxygen, ma'am, for breathing.
Very nice, very nice. Now, do you know what was the biggest challenge in tackling the COVID situation?
Yes.
Lack of
Oxygen cylinder cans, ma'am.
oxygen cylinders. We didn't have enough oxygen cylinders. Right. So how is oxygen obtained? Any idea? How is oxygen obtained? Any idea? Okay, air around us has got how much of oxygen? The air which is there around us has got 78% of nitrogen and
21% of oxygen.
very good. 21% is oxygen. So when there is so much oxygen around us, why to worry? What do? You'll collect air, condense it to make it into liquid state, and then do fractional distillation. You have learned fractional distillation, right? In class 9, did you come across distillation?
We are class 8, ma'am.
Class.
Oh, you are in class 8. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you will come across this phenomenon where you can separate the components of air. Does it not sound very magical that you are able to separate the oxygen from nitrogen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Some air is something which you cannot hold even with your hands, but you are able to separate, all through scientific innovation. Yes, children? So there are many
Yes,
fields around you, right? If you just turn your head this way, that way, you will feel only science is there around you. Only science. Toothpaste, soaps, the food that you eat. I'll present a series of pictures. If you see, science is there in everything, in manufacturing, in maintaining, in maybe packaging. Okay, making a product better. Yes, like if you see your toiletries, you've got a shampoo to take bath, and every time there is a new ad, so showing that this compound, this shampoo is better than the older one. It's new, improvised form. This brand is better. Who do you think is working behind all these industries? I have a number of industries. Cosmetics. Yes, drugs. Who do you think is working behind all these industries? Who do you think is working behind all these industries? Every industry, every manufacturing unit. If you look at your computer screen, it is manufactured somewhere. So who do you think is involved in the manufacturing process? Some engineer. Who do you think is working on the software which is used to look at the screen and listen to this presentation? Engineers, right? And I won't say engineers alone, okay? I would say people who are interested in science. Pursuing engineering alone is not the only way to pursue science. No. Nirmala ma'am will talk about that aspect. But definitely a person who is interested in science, that's it. Every innovation has to go through scientific endeavor, right? Can you think of these items? And without these, can you live? Of course, these are what? What are they? They are cleaners, right? You have a vessel cleaner in your kitchen. You have got a bathroom cleaner. You have got a body cleaner. All these makes our life simpler. Okay. Have you all seen these in your daily life, children? At least science teachers would have discussed about all these issues. Yes. What do you see there? There is a karate master who is cracking the slabs of cement. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
yes, ma'am.
And where do you think? Okay. How does it? How does he make it possible? Supposing I want to do that same thing, right? Let me try. I have some cement slabs and I'm going to try to do it. Is it possible for me to do it by banging my hand with a great force instantaneously? Or is it possible for me to do it by just softly bringing my hand and landing onto the cement slab? Which one will help me to break the slabs?
With the more force.
Ma'am, the strong grip, ma'am.
Yes, right. Striking with great force, right? How is it possible? And where is it applied? Where is it applied? See, a whole lot of forces applied on a surface in a small duration of time. That creates a greater impact. You understand? A lot of force is being applied over a small region in a short time span. Now, where is it going to help me? Have you seen water cutters, children? Have you seen water jet cutters?
Yes, ma'am.
No,
Water jet cutters, a strong
Ma'am,
jet of water. Yeah, a strong jet of water is cutting even metals. Yes, is able to cut rock.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
is it?
Because of the force of water.
That's all. Because of the force of water. That's a layman language. Yes. Is it not something similar to this? A large amount of force is exerted on a small region in a short time span. The impact created is more. Yes. And supposing this long jump runner, which you can see here in this video, in this picture, he is trying to do that, right? He is jumping and suddenly he is being dropped on a cemented surface. Do you think it will be good? On a cemented
no,
surface?
ma'am.
No
No,
way.
ma'am.
What does he want there? He wants
Yes.
to land on a surface which is filled with
Sand.
sand. Why? The same impact
Ma'am,
has to be over a longer time duration so that he is not getting injured. Yes? So these are all common daily
Yes,
life
ma'am.
observations, but there is science behind, right? This cricketer who is catching the ball, why does he go down? Why does he travel along the ball? Just to reduce the impact. He is going to
Because he
suddenly,
has to receive the force.
yeah, he has to receive the force. And when he delays that, the momentum going down to zero takes longer time. If he is going to travel, if he is going to move his hand along with the motion of the ball, he is going to delay this action. He is going to bring the ball to rest, but in a longer time span. So he is reducing the impact. Don't you think science is involved? Yes?
Science is involved. ma'am.
Science is involved. Okay. You can see some more areas where science is involved. Can you think of aeroplanes, jets, rockets? Yes?
Ma'am,
A water
plane
fountain?
has a science of air pressure, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Don't you think this field, exploration of space, involves a lot of science without the question of errors? Something which probably which you experiment out in your lab can have some amount of error. Okay, provided it is not lethal, it is not harming anybody. But can you imagine a spacecraft with some errors possible? Is it possible? You are investing so much money to send people out into the space to explore and to give us new findings. Can their work have errors? Not possible. So what are you supposed to equip yourself with? With scientific knowledge. You should equip yourself with scientific knowledge. So I just have some of the fields, right, which you can pursue right after taking up chemistry. Okay, Nirmala ma'am will tell you about biology, right? Like some of the interesting, forensic scientist, being a forensic scientist, right, looks very cool. Hazardous waste chemist, you're trying to prevent your earth from getting more and more poisoned. Material scientist, supposing you want to send a rocket into the space, right, and you want to make an outer body of that rocket, right? The most important work lies in the hands of material scientists. What do? They innovate, they plan, okay, and they synthesize the materials which would be stable under extreme conditions. So if a rocket is reaching there, only the person who is stepping out of that space, that rocket, is not the genius, right? Bigger minds have worked behind the launch of it, the manufacturing of it, right? And the exploration, all that has involved so much of scientific endeavor. Pharmacologists, yes, the moment, there was when the corona came, people said it is not possible for us. See, one vaccine takes minimum of 10 years to get synthesized and get approved and put into use. But see the pace at which the COVID vaccine got ready. Within a span of 1 year, it was ready, it was tested, it was found to be safe, and it was injected, and most of us are protected. Who is behind all this? The pharmacologists. Yes. So science is everywhere, and our life is possible, is made easier because of all these systems that we have. So if you can just go into these, have you seen a crane pulling up a great amount of load? Or if you had gone to a car washing center, they would lift the car. How did it work? It's all because of the hydrostatic phenomenon. A car braking system works on hydrostatics. Yes, you need to have a very strong braking system to keep yourself safe. Fluid mechanics in the field of transportation, unquestionable. Optical instruments, the most important application of optical instruments is to look into the human body and to find a solution to your diseases. Don't you agree, children? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Right? Like if you're going for an eye checkup, there will be a huge big instrument which is going to peep into your eye and find out the problems. So the field of science is so vast. Optical fibers, how has it changed our lives? How has it changed our lives? If I want to make a phone call to my brother who is living in Delhi, it's just matter of few seconds. I just take my phone, dial his number, I can speak to him with absolute clarity. But 20 to 30 years back, it was not possible. Ask your parents how difficult it would be to speak to somebody. Not because phones were not available. The problem was that the data was not getting transported instantaneously. A loss of data happened. Your brother would speak there. My brother used to speak there, right? Probably in the northern part of India. And he used to speak. After 1 minute, I would be hearing it. Can you imagine such a life now, children?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Even if your elder brother or sister is going to US to study, you are able to instantaneously connect with him or her on Skype or on WhatsApp call. You are able to look at him, look at her. You get connected instantaneously. How did all this happen? With the invent of optical fibers.
May I, Lakshmi, 1 second?
Yes, yes.
How are we connected to Karur children now?
Yeah, see, how are we connected?
Yeah.
See, you are somewhere, I am somewhere. Nirmala ma'am is at some other place, but we are all coming together, having a nice meeting, having discussion on science, just because of science. Yes? Okay,
Yes.
semiconductor devices. There is no electronic gadget, right? Your laptops, your phones, your TV, right? Any device which works on electricity must use these components. You cannot imagine a component at your home without the usage of all these. And the generation of electricity. Yes, itself is a field, generation. Otherwise, there are like the non-conventional sources of energy, but for a very long time, we have been relying on conventional sources. So the exploration of the non-conventional sources has also become interesting field, which you can take up as profession. Okay, I want you to, so these are some of the career options. This you will find in any site. So just to have a look, so many possibilities, and everything ends with engineering. But I am again telling you, engineering is not the only scope to go behind science. Okay, there is much more, and that's why, and many more is there. Okay, can you read this, children? Can somebody read it out for me?
Quickly, fast.
Can somebody read it out, or can make out something out of this?
Why?
Yeah, why? Very good. Why? Then? Can you at least read the fourth line there?
Yeah, JEE NEET.
Very good.
JEE NEET.
JEE and NEET. Okay, very good. Can you make out more of it? It is the same thing.
Yeah. The inaugural supported and mid-graded JEE NEET program.
What about this?
Why Aguru?
Ahaguru
supported.
Supported integrated JEE NEET program
in the host school. Yes. So what was the difference? The content was the same.
Yeah.
Content is the same, but the clarity makes a lot of difference. So I am also here actually to just introduce this program. Okay. In DAV, we both, Nirmala ma'am and myself, both are from DAV school, and there is an Ahaguru integrated JEE and NEET program where we take the support of Ahaguru content, and we teach the children the JEE and the NEET portions in an integrated form. That means a particular lesson. When you children, most of you are from 8th probably, some are from 9th and 10th also, I believe. When you go to class 11 and class 12, the jump is huge. There is so much of science. The interesting facts I have presented, some Nirmala ma'am has got so much in store for you. The interesting facts are endless, but at the other side of it is you need to work extremely hard because the content is so heavy. I'm not here to scare you. Okay, as I told you, scientific innovation has to go through scientific approach, and the scientific approach is never easy. It is painstaking. As I told you, no, over 20 years, probably 20-30 years, the last 20-30 years has been great in the field of science. Yeah, there are robotics available to clean your houses. If you go to Amazon and search for an automatic home cleaner, they will give you an option to buy a small device, a small one, which will travel to and fro inside your house, picking up all the dust. So what am I trying to tell you? That the process of pursuing science is little tricky, but how does it become easier? With a clarity. If the same stream is pursued at school in an integrated fashion, where you learn your NCERT syllabus or CBSE syllabus or whichever syllabus you are pursuing, it becomes easy for you to connect. A given lesson will be taught in terms of your board, that may be CBSE board or whatever board you are following, plus at NEET level also the same content is being done, and it's supported by AHA Guru. So the clarity that you get is enormous. So with this clarity, you will be able to achieve your targets. Okay, another thing, should everyone become an engineer or a doctor? What do you think, children? Should everyone become an engineer or a doctor? Tell me, yes or no? Should everyone become an engineer or a doctor only?
No.
No need. So what are you going to do with this integrated program? Supposing you take up the integrated program. See, the integrated program or this kind of coaching, you are preparing yourself for writing the JEE or the NEET exams. What does it do to you? It puts you into a rigorous schedule of working hard, trying to understand things. Okay. And these skills that you acquire, okay, you work extremely hard and you are spending a lot of time in studies. You are thinking loud. You are thinking at a much higher level than other students. All these skills which you acquire definitely will help you in your life in pursuing whatever you want to pursue. Whatever you want to pursue. It can be a professional course or it can be a non-professional course. So be ready to work hard when you come to class 11 and 12. Yes, children?
Yes,
Yes, it is very interesting. It is very interesting, but you have to have the passion towards it. And if you have the passion, you are going to be successful. With these words, I would like to finish my part of the content today, and I would like to invite Nirmala ma'am to present her views. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshmi ma'am. That was a wonderful presentation. I think by now all children would have got the interest to join science group. Am I right, children?
Yes,
Am I
ma'am.
right? Huh? Yes. Very good. How many class 10 children are there? I just want to know how many class 10 students are there in the group. I just want you to raise your hands. I think there is an option of raising hand, or you can just say children. Is there any option of raising hand, children? I just want to know the number of class 10 children available. You can just unmute and say, yes, ma'am, I am there. Is there anybody? Because this program was exclusively to be meant for class 10 children who are going to have already decided to choose science stream. Am I right, ma'am? Am I right, Nityanandi ma'am, secretary ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Class 10 children, because class 10 children, I would really want to interact with them during my presentation. It should be an interactive session like our earlier sessions. Yes, children, are you ready, children, to go into the biological sciences? Are you ready, children, to get into the biological sciences?
Yes, ma'am.
Lakshmi ma'am has given you a very detailed presentation of how chemistry and physical sciences will really make you think, how they are very useful in day-to-day life, right from our toothpaste in the morning till we go to bed by taking a tumbler of cold water from the refrigerator or milk, whatever it is, boiled milk in a milk cooker, whatever. So ma'am has really taken you through a tour of physical sciences. So coming to biological sciences, what is biology, children? Ma'am, can I be made host, ma'am?
Sure, ma'am. Yes, Amit sir.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
What is biology, children? I want somebody to define biology for me. What is biology? Study of bio. Break the word into two. Bio. Logos. Logos means to study. Bio means to study about the living organisms, the living science. Biology can be called as a living science, where you learn about all the living things around us. Plants, flora, fauna, microorganisms. Flora refers to all the plants, fauna refers to all the animals. So if you are going to take up biology along with physics, chemistry and mathematics, you are going to have a very wonderful time at the school, as well as even after school. During the college, you take one biological course, and there is so much scope to study, and this subject will as such will make you very comfortable, you will be very happy about studying about your own self, happy about studying your own, how your heart works, how your heart is able to rhythmically make the heartbeats. Because in class 10, at least one 10th standard child is there, ma'am. I just want to know. Nityanandi, ma'am. One 10th standard child in the group.
3 or 4 students were there, ma'am. Now I'm not able to see them.
Okay, they are not there, ma'am. Because
Yes.
whatever I will be discussing will be related to class 10. Let me start sharing the screen, ma'am. 1 second. Is the screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, biology in class 7. See, the introduction says it's one of the most breathtaking subjects with extraordinary concepts embedded in precise and clear chapters. So there are 5 units in class 11 biology. 6 to 10 units are there in class 12 biology, and in class 11 biology there is more of botany, and you learn about the external structure of the plants, the external structure of the various parts of the plant, the internal structure of the plant, and you also are introduced to the structure of cell. I think in class 8 you are introduced to structure of cell, which you will be learning in more detail. I saw some 8th standard children very enthusiastically interacting with Lakshmi ma'am. I think you learn about cell structure, children, in class 8. About DNA, you have some information about DNA, some information about cell. All that you will be learning in detail. And you will be learning about human physiology, how our digestive system works, how our circulatory system works, how the neural impulses. See, whenever Lakshmi ma'am was showing you some video, you are able to think, no children, you are able to think and answer. So how that neural impulses are generated and transmitted over longer distance. If you see the structure, what is this structure, children? This is shown here. My cursor is moving on it. What is this? I think it's there in 8th standard. What is the structure, children? What is this? I just want to know from you. It is a cell. It is a cell. One of the cells in the body. One of the types of cells in the body. Can anyone answer? Yes, children? Is there any idea what is it? From the heading you understand it's a neuron, it's a nerve cell. It's a neuron. It looks like a long wire, like how we do wiring at home, how electricity is transmitted, conducted through the wire. We have got such structures in the body which are immediately less than a fraction of a second, 100th of a second, 1,000th of a second. They're able to take the impulse from the sense organ to the brain, and from brain to sensor, how fast we are able to show some reflex actions. What is a reflex action? Suddenly you go home very hungry, you are already very hungry, and some nice smell is coming from the kitchen. As such, you are too tired and you want to eat something very hot. Some vessel is kept on the dining table. You go and touch it out of enthusiasm. It's too hot. So immediately you withdraw your fingers. So immediately you reacted. How is it possible? Because of the neurons. These neurons are connecting the sense organs to the brain. Back the brain and spinal cord are giving orders. All this you'll be studying in great detail in class 11. Class 11 biology introduce you to human physiology. All the systems, circulatory system, excretory system, muscular system, locomotion, how urine is made very concentrated, how our food, various components of the food is digested. All this in detail you will be learning in class 11. Then, structure of the brain. We'll be learning in detail about the structure of brain. Whereas up to class 8, the biology teacher would have taught you, okay, this is brain, and you'll be learning the different components of the brain, forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. What is the role of forebrain? Forebrain is responsible for memory, concentration, our extracurricular activities, and it receives the sense organs from neurons from all the sense organs. So you'll classify the brain into 3 parts, and you will go deep into all that proportions which you are learning in superficially up to class 10. Am I right? So class 11 biology is taking you to a level where you will be understanding the depth of each and every system, like all the physiological systems of the body. Look at this slide, children. The heart that lives when the brain is dead. See, you would have learned about the brain dead persons, organ transplantation, people who are declared brain dead. From them, heart is retrieved. From them, organs are retrieved, kidneys are retrieved, and they are given to patients who are deserving patients, where the tissue is matching. So how the heart is? Because heart is one organ which was formed even before the brain was formed, when we were all present in our, when we were growing in our mother's uterus. So this is an organ which will be living even when the brain is dead. So it contains a region called SAN, sinoatrial node, which helps the heart to rhythmically contract, rhythmically relax, tirelessly, right? Even before we were born, even if we saw the world, the heart was formed within 1 month after fertilization. All these wonderful informations are in store for you in class 11 biology. No doubt biology is very interesting, but as Lakshmi ma'am said very clearly, it will appear very easy when the teacher is teaching, but your hard work is very, very, very essential. You need to follow it up. Well, see, if the teacher is teaching a 1 page of information, 1.5 page of information, you should go home, learn wherever diagrams are there, you should redraw, you should try to redraw them, label the parts, understand in detail, follow it up, children. So with sustained hard work, one can be very successful in learning biology in class 11 and 12. And biology will automatically make you passionate about learning it, and you will get number of courses, which I'll be discussing a little later, available after studying biology in class 11 and 12. So the structure of DNA, I think class 8 children, you know about DNA, children? Class 8, somebody was answering, Lakshmi ma'am, frequently. Are you learning about DNA in class 8? Yes, children, are you there in the call?
We just started class 8, ma'am.
You just started class 8. Nice. You will be learning about this DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, which is the genetic material. If I say like this, you will not understand. நம்ம வீட்டுக்கு சில பேர் வருவாங்க இல்லையா, நம்ம அத்தை பாட்டி எல்லாம் யாராவது சொந்தக்காரங்க வந்தா என்ன சொல்றாங்க, இந்த பொண்ணு பாரு அப்பா மாதிரியே இருக்கா, பொண்ணு அப்படியே அம்மாவே உரிச்சு வச்சிருக்கா, சொல்றது இல்லையாமா? சொல்லுவாங்களே இல்லையா? அம்மா மாதிரியே இருக்க, நீ வரையறது பார்த்தா உங்க அம்மா மாதிரியே இருக்கு, நீ நடக்கிறத பார்த்தா அம்மா மாதிரியே இருக்கு. So there is a genetic material which takes the information, which transmits the information from one. Now we are see your parents or your immediate previous generation, your grandparents or your immediate second generation. So how the characteristic features from grandmother to the granddaughter, from aunt to the nephew or niece is transmitted is a very interesting aspect of DNA, which will be introduced in class 8. And you will be learning a little bit of DNA in class 10, but more about DNA, the structure of DNA, how it is double strand. Anybody knows who got the Nobel Prize for deciphering the structure of DNA? Who got the Nobel Prize for explaining us the structure of the double stranded structure of DNA? Children, any idea? 2 scientists received, very young scientists received the prestigious prize, Nobel Prize, long ago in 18th century. Any idea, children? Watson and Crick. Do you know? Watson and Crick, they were the scientists. So about Watson and Crick's contribution, what did they do? As Lakshmi ma'am said, sustained hard work. The research, lot of research took place. It's not in a day, in one day that people came to know that DNA was the genetic material. It took so many years for scientists to understand, biologists to understand that DNA can act as a genetic material. So the structure of DNA, how it is able to transmit the characteristic features, how a portion of DNA is called gene, how our body has got 30,000 to 40,000 gene, every characteristic feature, our external feature, my skin complex, my skin tone, my skin color, my hair color, my shape of the rainbow, my eyebrow, my eye color, cornea color, my nail length, everything is decided by the gene. Clear? So the gene is nothing but a small portion of this DNA. All that you will be learning in class 11. And this process, How do you get energy, children? How am I able to speak to you? How are your teachers able to talk to you for 40 minutes, 1 hour? They take some extra classes to complete the lesson. What is required? What is required?
Energy, ma'am.
Energy. Very, very good. Okay, good that you are interacting. I want such an interactive session. What gives us energy, children? How do you get energy?
Ma'am, by consuming food,
Food, ma'am.
So the food consumed gives you energy. Okay. What is the first step the food undergoes in the body? After, see, I காத்தால என்ன சாப்பிடுறோம், 2 இட்லி சாப்பிடுறோம், சாம்பார் கூட சட்னி கூட நம்ம இட்லி சாப்பிடுறோம், or we are taking chapati, dal, or vegetables, bread, we are taking sandwiches. Yes or no, children? In the morning, and we go to school with a lot of enthusiasm, carry our bag, we walk up the stairs, we play in the playground. By afternoon, we are very hungry again. Mummy would have packed nice food in the lunch box. We open the lunch box, we eat. Again, we listen to some classes in the afternoon, come back. Again, mummy is giving you some drink, milk she gives you, complan she gives you. You sit and do the homework. So, periodically, we are able to consume food. No, children, every day we are taking food. Why? What happens to the food in the body? 8th standard children should be able to answer. What happens to the food in the body? Very good. It gets digested. What is digestion, children? Can you define digestion?
The process of breakdown of the food into small
food is broken down with the
The carb. So what is our food made of, children? I gave you some examples.
Nutrients, ma'am.
What are the nutrients? Very good, children. What are the nutrients that we consume every day? What are the
carbohydrates, vitamins,
Protein, fats, vitamin and minerals.
It's a nice answer. I really want to applaud. We take carbohydrates, we take proteins, we take fats. Along with that, we take vitamins, minerals, and roughage and water. So carbohydrates are very big molecules. You will be learning the structure of carbohydrates in chemistry classes. But the carbohydrate becomes simpler, becomes broken down in our stomach and intestine to become glucose. The proteins become amino acids. The fats become fatty acids. All these happen during digestion. So digestion is the breakdown of the complex food materials into simpler ones. So the carbohydrate has become glucose. At the end of that, what will happen? All these, the glucose, the amino acids, the fatty acids, all will be carried by blood to every cell. In every cell, the glucose undergoes a breakdown, glycolysis. This glycolysis is a very wonderful reaction taking place in all organisms, not necessarily in human beings, right from bacteria till the complex animal. This glycolysis, glyco means glucose, lysis means destruction. It breaks down. The glucose breaks down to produce energy. Any idea about how many molecules of ATP is produced from one molecule of glucose? I think I'm asking a question of a very higher order. It's okay, children. You'll be learning how one glucose molecule is producing 38 ATP molecules of energy. So we are eating. If you are consuming one roti or one idli, it contains number of glucose molecules. These glucose molecules readily enter cell and they undergo further reactions to provide you energy. So all this is in store for you in class 11 biology. So as a concluding class 11, morality towards the world is the gift of learning biology, children. So biology is such a fascinating branch of science. Yes, children. Now I will go to the other one second. Class 12 biology. You'll be having a unit called genetics. As I told you, DNA you'll be learning in more detail, children, and how the characteristics are transmitted from one generation to the other generation. You'll be introduced to different types of reproduction, asexual reproduction, and learning the mechanism of how the DNA is, how the sex is determined, how do we become male, learning the mechanism of sex determination, not on birds, in honeybees. In honeybees, it's a very wonderful mechanism which is a little beyond your 8th standard level. When you come to 10th and 11th and 12th, you're learning the mechanism of how without fertilization the eggs become males, with fertilization the eggs become females. All that you'll be doing in class 12. And as I told you, this is the experiment. See, look at this. What are these, children? The cursor is moving around two figures in the picture. What are these? Any idea, children? I think you would have learned in class 8. I think you are introduced to class 8 now. They are viruses. These are viruses which attack the bacteria called bacteriophages. So there were two scientists, namely Hershey and Chase. As I told you, that DNA is our genetic material was not a very easy task to understand. It took many years, many investigatory experiments, many more scientists contributed. And finally, the two scientists, Hershey and Chase, experimentally proved that it is DNA which is the genetic material in 99.9% of organisms. Very few viruses like our COVID virus, which is really scaring us, have ribonucleic acid, RNA, as their genetic material. How DNA can act as a genetic material, how DNA was found to be the genetic material. All these are very interesting aspects of class 12 biology. And biotechnology, otherwise it is the genetic. And how many of you want to become genetic engineers here? Anybody wants to become genetic engineer? You will design, you will develop a new gene, you will transfer genes, you will make the organism genetically modified, you will use gene therapy. You will be doing a lot of research work in how genes can be altered, how a false gene can be corrected by using the method called gene therapy. All that are there in store for you in class 12 biology. And here in this picture, there is one bee, like an insect, pollinating a flower, right, children? It's a pollinating. You know what is pollination? Any idea, children? I think as 7th standard, I say flowers are there. Flowers contains the pollen grains. The pollen grains
Transfer of pollen grains into anther to stigma, ma'am.
Very good, children. For transfer of pollen grains from the anthers to stigma is known as pollination, which is carried out by natural agents like wind and water, and living agents like yes, largely insects. So here there is an insect which is a male insect, okay, but the flower is modified in such a way that the flower will resemble the female bee. It's a bee, so the male bee will come and visit the flower thinking it is a female bee. So when it is just coming and rubbing its body against the flower, it carries the pollen grains. All these interesting concepts are there in class 12 biology. You learn about environmental issues like pollution, environment. You learn about how global is very temperature, all these. And as young scientists or young students, what can you contribute? How can you reduce the global warming by having large number of trees? By how can you reduce the pollution? How can you reduce the generation of waste by segregating the waste into biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste? All these concepts are there in store for you in class 11 and 12 biology. It's really interesting. And as you listen to the teacher, if you are very attentive to the teacher, 60% of the information you will receive in the class itself. There is no need to be scared of biology. So the remaining 40%, you go home, take out your reader, read what has been taught, and go to the class with good preparation to ask questions to your biology teacher next day. And what are the career options? I'll start sharing the screen again. What are the avenues you have after doing biology? Graduation courses in medicine. As ma'am said, about 30 years back, even the television was not very modern. It was very big, fat television. We never had communication facilities. And we thought medicine is the MBBS படிக்கணும்ங்கற ஒரே objective தான் இருக்கும் இல்லையாமா? உங்க parents எல்லாம் சொல்லுவாங்க டாக்டர் மட்டும் தான் சயின்ஸ் குரூப் படிச்சா டாக்டர் மட்டும் தான் ஆகணும். It is not so, children. There are number of courses in medicine. MBBS, okay, even today it has got its own charm. BDS, even today children are taking. But look at the courses: BAMS, Bachelor of Ayurvedic Medicine and Surgery, Bachelor of Siddha Medicine and Surgery, BNYS, Bachelor of Naturopathy and Yogic Science, BHMS, Bachelor of Homeopathic Medicine, BUMS, Bachelor of Unani Medicine. All these are there. Then BSc Nursing, you would have seen nurses helping the doctors in theatres, operation theatres. B Optom, Bachelor of Optometry, like the optician who will test your eyes. Ma'am was telling about a machine which will be kept in front of your eyes when you go for eye examination. Optometrists will be evaluating your eye before you go and meet the main doctor. BOT, Bachelor of Occupational Therapy. BPT, Bachelor of Physiotherapy. Now, what is physiotherapy, children? Any idea? What is physiotherapy? Have you seen a physiotherapist clinics in your place, Karur? You would have seen in Erode. You would have seen in Coimbatore.
Yes, ma'am.
Physiotherapy, yes. Trauma care management. Trauma care na enna? Sudden or accident aayidillama. An accident, the patient is coming, rush to the hospital, bleeding. Udane enna pannanum? Adukku there is a course, BSc. Are they not interesting, children? It is not only the medicine. There are a number of courses. B Pharma, Bachelor of Pharmacy, Form D, Doctor of Pharmacy, where you will be designing, you will be taking care of the composition of the medicines. BPO, Bachelor of Prosthetics and Orthotics. Other graduation courses like BSc, Bachelor of Sciences, Mathematics is there, Physics, Chemistry, Botany, Zoology, Microbiology. Geology is growing now. Geology is, if you do geology, you can do archaeology. You will learn about how the ancient civilizations structures are in the are all present below the crust, and your excavation, you are excavating them, you are rating, you are identifying the age of them, you are doing a radioisotope to find out, okay, this belonged to that century, this was used by Rajaraja Solan. And the Marla Kandipidikironlia, geology la pannuvaanga, biochemistry, applied sciences, home sciences, nutrition and dietetics, bioinformatics, all these are some of the wonderful courses available to you after doing science stream with biology. So it is not only medicine, as Lakshmi ma'am clearly said, engineering and medicine are not the only destinations. There are number of courses, and we have got excellent universities, excellent colleges which offer this course, and you can get to know more about them in our further career guidance counseling. And as it was introduced via DAV school, DAV group of schools, we will always be there with you, there with your teachers to support them. So we are the academic associates. We shall support them through continuously. We'll be extending support so that you will all get benefit. Whatever the DAV children here in Chennai receive the same information, the same amount of inputs, you will also get with our continuous support. So we are there in Chennai to extend our support in a remote way, like how we are connecting to Karur children today. So this is how, like Haka Guru classes are there, integrated NEET and JEE coaching class are there in PVM. It's an one you have taken a wonderful decision of joining PVM and taking science group. Wish you all the best, children. Any doubt, we can have your principals will let us know in future, and about intricate details about all these colleges, how long the course is, how to get trained, all that will be following when you come to class 11 and 12. Thank you so much, children, for having for a very patient listening. Thank you all. Namaste and thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your information. Gratitude is the character which springs for the soul. I call upon Ritanya of gratitude to propose the out of thanks.
Today, I feel euphoric to take the opportunity to put on gratitude for whom I inspired world for a great year. I thank our secretary for the thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. I pleasure and extend thanks to our constant guiding force. I thank all the blessings. One for your blessing. Thank
Thank you so much. This is Vinolton Principal for having accepted it out of a busy schedule. Lakshmi ma'am and the Nirmala ma'am. It's really a great, even a great learning for us to not only for students, how many branches of science, and a lot of things shared actually. So it's a good learning. It's a good learning, ma'am. As you said at the end, we're always, you're always with us, and that's a great pride and privilege for us, PON Vidya Mandir, and we always welcome you to our campus. you're most welcome to our campus. Lakshmi ma'am, Shreya, Nirmala ma'am, and others. And really, we feel privileged to get along with the DAV. And every day is a learning with the DAV always. Every day we learn something new, especially. Thank you so much.
Sir, thank you for the opportunity to be with the children, sir. It's a wonderful opportunity you gave, so we could have some quality time with your children, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This recorded version will be very much useful in future also for the children, ma'am. Recorded version of this session will be very much useful. We'll make sure that we will reach with recorded version to all the children, ma'am. It's a wonderful session. Yes, ma'am. All class 10 children. It's a wonderful session by both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Great
you.
learning
Thank you for the
us.
opportunity, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a joyful meeting, ma'am. Thank you.
Nice learning.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.